The stories of our families once told are the ones on front of the fire growing old, sharing light on the greatness they created. Everyone listening to every word, no hesitation. The pride you learned of the name you had, it taught you that you were something, never feel bad. You knew the trials and tribulations it took to make you. Your aunt, your uncle, you always knew who was who. Who was who. CPS, when they take the kids away, erase the heritage of the children they have gotten pay. These children don't know where they begin, they sure know the outcome, the end. CPS, you're destroying the family. You think you're making things better. These kids don't know who they are, they will never. In a blink of an eye you eliminate what's theirs to cherish. There is no imminent danger great enough to annihilate the name of a family and those that it consummate. How dare you take away such an honor for you to get a bonus and arise so much drama. Our kids, their lives erased away. Never will they know who paved the way. They are left empty to never hear the story, who their grandparent were, the sad times and the glory. CPS, walk away. CPS, not today. Please, we beg you, leave the kids alone. God bless you. How do you think you are, helping things out? You're causing more pain and agony, without a doubt. Why do you want to be the eraser of a family past given by the Creator? CPS, why do you play the role of God while so many families are truly breaking the law, inflicting harm throughout the night? The children are scared to turn out their lights. So go away, don't ever come back. Go away, I want my parents, that's that. I don't belong in a stranger's bed, thinking all night, memories in my head of the only love I once had. It was from my mom and dad. Now I lay alone, listening to strangers fight, never hearing the words I love you, good night. So good job, CPS, you really helped me. Now I'm scared, I'm alone, I don't know who I am. I've been cast away. If I'm lost, no one knows. There is no family to find me. CPS took that away, it's all behind me. When I go to bed every night, I close my eye tight. And through the tears I see my mom and dad, wishing they were here. I am so sad. You ruined my life, who gave you that right? My family loved me, they all said goodnight. Now I'm truly alone, nothing to be happy about, no place to call home. All I know is the time of day. CPS, just go away.
Family here is no longer a sad journey that was done on purpose. Believe the words I say, here is the truth. Let's just pray it never happens to you. You knock on the door, you freeze in peril. You look around and there's nothing available. Panic, you scream, you run in circles. You knock on the door over. You look outside and the cars on the road, the police on the yard waiting in limbo. Your life is changing so fast, looking out the window. In just a moment and things will turn bad. Prepare for the next part, it's real sad. Up downtown, they say hello sir, we need your daughter. I tell them no, they say you wanna give her to us now. I tell them no way, go away, never come back. They answer with force and pin you down. They search all the rooms and look around. They find your baby girl, they tell me we got her. Now your family is torn apart, pleading in your innocence from the start. Nobody listens, nobody cares. All you're left with is empty stares. The house is empty, no love to be felt. They grabbed your baby, it's a feeling you never felt. You fight so hard to have her return. All they do is torture you are feeling like burn. You do what they say, answer the question. They just keep telling you that you need lessons. You're not worthy of being a father. We don't want you to see your daughter. We don't know what you have done, but we'll say you're guilty. This has begun. We are taking your heart, your soul. You'll be alone now as you grow old. You are on the way to die. No one will be there to cry. All by yourself, you can't do a thing. No one wants you around. No one believes you did nothing wrong. You gave your best fight. There was nothing you could do. I'll always remember the lonely December. You took my heart out for nothing. There was no reason for what was done. No one listened, not a one. As I lay dying on this bed, my visions are you running through my head. I'm sorry for nothing, I didn't do enough. I thought about you always, I didn't do enough. One day I'll be with you again, living in a world that you are in. Maybe that time I'll do it right. I'll be able to say goodnight. But for now, since life is over, there will be no more pain. I won't miss you in shame. I don't have to play this game. The unfair life that I was living, it's no memory. Hope you can be forgiven. I had it all once, they took it all away. So good night, sweet princess, pleasant dreams.
I am the CPS Punisher, and I stand before you today with a fierce urgency to address the dark realities surrounding Child Protective Services. I would like to let you know that Monday through Friday I host a roundtable show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, which is in the United States time zones. I say this only because we have teamed up with some very amazing allies across the Atlantic Ocean. They are true spectacles of word warriors standing shoulder to shoulder with us day and night. Speaking out against the injustices they are facing on their soil, they back us up on ours. We are now a worldwide fighters alliance ready to confront these challenges together. We do have the guts for boots on the ground, but right now we are amplifying our voices. We are putting the almighty pen to paper to create a bill that we must get in front of those seeking office in Congress this November. We need people to assist us in getting these documents to their respective persons for review. Sure, we are talking and raising awareness, but now we must take decisive action. Our kids are waiting far too long to be put back in the homes of their true biological God-given parents.
Made to be the victim of a situation they are not involved, and then sent to a foster home where they again are reintroduced to trauma of being the odd ball. Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem. George Washington never thought of children as pawn in the game of freedom and American values, and never had he wanted to sell them. They were from his maker, his creator. Our children are being run down for no other reason than the profits being made in some way. Somehow these government agencies make money hand over fist day in and day out. They have you go to classes that they are billing for, and there is no viable reason for you to attend. Yet when you hear an update, CPS tells you that you're further away from when you started. Reunification is your goal, not theirs, And after you go through 12+ months of grueling, painstaking classes and meetings, all while getting the slimmest amount of time to visit your child, and even worst, you are always supervised, never alone again with your child. It's awful. How do they feel, do you think?
Where's the outrage? Why is nobody standing up for these families being torn apart by CPS?
Please don't tell me you're going to put all your bets on this superhero. You grown-ups are supposed to be coming to his rescue. Stop ignoring this problem. There is nothing more I can say to any of you. Please fight CPS and help those who have lost so much they can help themselves.
That's me in the very beginning. Now I am a baby and getting zoomed from my mom to my birthday. I don't remember a lot about my younger life, but I remember it was fun and I felt so safe. My mom and dad always happy. I guess my mom's sister was mad that my dad was so great, so she called the police and said he hit my mom. We were all reading and they came. I heard my dad yelling, "There's no way." My mom was crying loudly. Some lady took us away. The court said my parents abused and neglected us. They only loved us. The caseworker lied. I never saw my parents again. I'm still hoping one day they come. I am a victim of CPS and so are my parents. We need to find justice in all of this madness for all of us that are being abused. It's not fair. Every kid I know has a mom and dad. I know they miss me. I bet they fight every day for me to come home.
Don't get caught like us. Know your rights.
Psalm 127:3. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him. This suggests children are a precious gift from God to be valued and cared for.
In the United States, a child a minute is taken into DHS, CPS, and so on custody. The reality is their picks are already selected, you just don't know it. Being perfect no longer matters. It's what the adopting families are looking for.
Who is it stealing the children, you ask?
From caseworker to the White House, the buck stops at all levels, just not where it is supposed to be. The services your family needs, we the people have paid for to ensure your reunification. Title 4 says, reunify at all costs. United, we stand means nothing to us when it comes to family values. Children are being ripped away from their families. Parents are reverting to addictive behaviors to cover the pain. The trauma caused by child removal is just being recognized, and the results are atrocious. Termination of parental rights is not healthy for anyone, just profitable for the people enforcing the lie.
It's time Washington listens to the cries of our children, the wails of their mothers, and the rage growing in the fathers. These are our children. Keep your damn hands off them. We are coming to act on the behalf of the children God gave us to protect, and you kidnapped.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents parents we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
Don't hear you, Darren.
Holy smokes, my wife touched everything off. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, honey. So let me redo this whole thing that I just did. Thank you very much, Mary. So CPS Victims Hunting Justice, this is your Friday night edition. This means coming into the weekend, making sure that you guys have everything that you need to know what you've got to do if CPS comes knocking. Remember that don't answer it. Contact your attorney. Let them do the work. Don't let them take your kids on the weekend. You'd be in a whole different type of situation than you're in right now if you were to let them in and let them take them. So sure that you don't do that. Unless they have a warrant, of course, then you got to let them in. Now, like I was saying before my man Vinny over there had told me that I couldn't be heard. We've got the chat coming up right here. We got the chat right about here. All right, there's the chat, guys. So please like, share, do all that kind of stuff that you need to do to make us be heard allowed everywhere else. Again, what I'm going to do right now, though, is I'm first going to do a moment of silence for those that were in the school shooting in Georgia and those that were involved. So let me shut this down here real quick, guys, and we'll do a quick moment of silence for them. Okay. That's for those people down there in Georgia that are dealing with this tremendous trauma, and I really hope that they're able to find something to get themselves calmed and through that. But back to CPS land here, what we're doing. Hi, Carrie. Don't worry about it. I ran the puff, as Herbert likes to call it, extra long. But I'm going to bring Vinny in here, and let's get it on for Friday night. Vinny.
Good evening, Darren.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, still fighting the fight. Just got off the phone with my attorney.
How did it go?
He revised the guardian ad litem's report, and he wants me to print it off and highlight everything that I see not right in it. Yeah. And we're going to have another call tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and we're going to discuss it, and he's going to revise it even more, and then he's going to submit that re-report to the court, showing that the guardian ad litem is lying on a report.
Very nice. Very nice. That's good stuff. I got some kind of, I don't know if I want to show this going on into a Friday or not, but kind of heard some disheartening news today. But maybe someone out here can let us know if this is true, false, or what. Let me play this, Vinny. Okay, this here. Okay. All right, let's start it over here. All right, check this out.
Hi, my name is Casey Powell, and until recently I was a licensed attorney in multiple states as well as the Supreme Court of the United States, but more on that later. I just wanted to get on here and respond to many requests that I've had in my inbox and by different organizations in response to comments that I've left on their page. One of them being is I keep seeing a trend across TikTok where there are people having battles with family court, and there are people in the comments saying we'll have a better chance when we get to the federal courts. No, you won't. You're never going to get to the federal court in a family law case. That includes a probate matter. That includes family court, DCFS. You're not going to get there. The best you can hope for is a federal 1983, but I promise you, they're going to throw out even the best of the 1983. And I'll give you prime examples, and if you're interested, and you can go to my page. I'm under Justice Seeker, Justice with a Y. And I'll be posting more videos and posting more content to show you that no, the justice system isn't going to protect you and the federal courts isn't. Although I find it a little ironic, the great deal of things that go on in family courts across the nation in every single state. They are matched dollar for dollar in most things, and in what they're not even matched dollar for dollar in, the federal funding exceeds it, yet you don't have the protection of the federal courts. You don't have the protection of the Bill of Rights. You don't have your liberty interests being protected because there is actually a federal family court exclusion on family court cases as well as probate cases. So in a sense, the family court cases I can understand, okay, because you don't want the federal court involved in custody matters. They never get any work done. But when it comes to the government taking away your rights, when it comes to the government, any judge saying, hey, you're not fit to be around this child, if they're playing with your liberty interest and they're telling lies, personal opinion is, oh yeah, you have every right to go to federal court. But you're not getting there because of the family court exclusion.
Let's start that from the beginning one more time, Vinny, all right? I'm going to play that one more time. Because it's a lot to take in here. And I know that the beginning is a little soft.
My name is Casey Powell. And until recently, I was a licensed attorney in multiple states as well as the Supreme Court of the United States. But more on that later. I just wanted to get on here and respond to many requests that I've had in my inbox and by different organizations in response to comments that I've left on their page. One of them being is I keep seeing a trend across TikTok where there are people having battles with family court, and there are people in the comments saying we'll have a better chance when we get to the federal courts. No, you won't. You're never going to get to the federal court in a family law case. That includes a probate matter. That includes family court, DCFS. You're not going to get there. The best you can hope for is a federal 1983, but I promise you, they're going to throw out even the best of the 1983. And I'll give you prime examples, and if you're interested, and you can go to my page. I'm under Justice Seeker, Justice with a Y. And I'll be posting more videos and posting more content to show you that no, the justice system isn't going to protect you and the federal courts isn't. Although I find it a little ironic, the great deal of things that go on in family courts across the nation in every single state. They are matched dollar for dollar in most things, and in what they're not even matched dollar for dollar in, the federal funding exceeds it, yet You don't have the protection of the federal courts. You don't have the protection of the Bill of Rights. You don't have your liberty interests being protected because there is actually a federal family court exclusion on family court cases as well as probate cases. So, in a sense, the family court cases I can understand, okay, because you don't want the federal court involved in custody matters. They never get any work done. But when it comes to the government taking away your rights, when it comes to the government, any judge saying, hey, you're not fit to be around this child, if they're playing with your liberty interest and they're telling lies, personal opinion is, oh yeah, you have every right to go to federal court. But you're not getting there because of the family court exclusion.
All right. So that's some disheartening stuff. Ashley, you sent that to me earlier, right? Is Ashley, you're here?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. What is that like? Make your heart drop or what when you read that?
Oh God, it made my stomach just drop.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
everything
but
that we've been lurking and working so hard for.
she only said that the 1983 won't work. She didn't say.
It says the domestic relations exception to federal jurisdiction prevents federal courts from hearing family law cases that are traditional by state courts.
Yeah, but you can go after them other ways.
Right, but that means that you're not going to have that judge overrule them, right? That's pretty much what she's talking about. You're not. Everybody feels like when they get to the federal courts, that's when they're going to rule by the Constitution. This is when you get your fair shake. What she's saying is they don't even accept any of the cases. And I'd be curious now that she says that, how many people do you really hear that are in the federal courts? Like that girl Ashley that used to be on here, she tried, they denied her.
I haven't heard of a successful 1983 file except for Sean McMillan, the lawyer. But they have a whole bunch of other things they file for as well. But I've never heard of a parent going pro se and doing 1983 and actually going through with it and actually getting into court.
Me either. But I do know that the due process of law 241, 242 does apply.
That's
because
state, not federal.
Right, because every state has a due process clause in their statutes.
Yeah, so you would go to Supreme Court, not federal court.
Right, you would have to go straight to the Supreme Court for it. But
you have to go to the Supreme Court first anyway.
Right, but you can use that as your class action, and you can file in Maine. At least you can file it. It's $500 to file a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, you want to be careful when you're filing a class action. You don't want to shut everybody down that has a chance of going up against. Because a class action, there's so many stipulations. You can't just file a class action. You got to put people involved with you that have the same situation as you.
But what happens? Same exact, almost.
What scares me about that is I think that once the group does that everybody else that never filed a class action for that possibly is null and voided. If I believe correct, like if you actually take
believe so.
If you take that issue to the courts, I think that if anyone runs that through the courts that way, you're screwed. So everybody went in and filed.
That's what's so dangerous about class actions is one person, if everybody gets a deal or say they win the class action and they want to go after them for something else or for more damages, they can't for any reason. That's what really sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you can go after them on an injury level.
Oh, yeah. Personally, go for it. But when you start doing a class action, that means you have a group that's going in and they're going over the same thing, null and voids. I think our question is, and I don't know 100%, and we're not lawyers, so don't take this as, but I think that it null and voids that issue. It's like that issue is no longer for anybody else. So anybody else in the world didn't get enough action, then they didn't get in on that, then they're screwed because they'll never be. See if like
that's how I think it too.
Yeah, but I really think there's enough of us in Maine that are dealing with pretty much the same kind of shit, Darren. Because I look in a lot of these Maine pages.
So they want. So think about this. They lose $100 million one time when they can lose $100 million 100 million times. They don't give a shit. They'll pay that. They have insurance. That'll be paid. But if everybody comes at them and we get the case law for that, and then everybody follows suit with the case law in the suing, then we've got some things that are going to make some damage. We do a class action suit one time, sue them for $100 million. The frig do they care? They have insurance. It's not going to cripple them. But you get 100 parents together doing a single suit with good case law in front of it, then we're talking some damage, buddy.
That's what I'm saying. Is you get a whole bunch of us together, and then
but do separately. Don't file class.
Say class, right? No, not class action, separately but together.
Yeah.
Just keep on the same thing, right? Because class action will not avoid the that incident any longer. They'll take that piece. Like, say if you said caseworkers lie, okay, the judge is based in this class action suit, which is all the people. That's why you have to give proper notification of that. And then all the people get together, they put them in there, they shake it. And then let's say 1,000 people did it and they issue you $100 million. Well, first of all, your lawyers are taking 50% of that, right?
Oh, Durham's here. What's up, Durham?
Durham's in the house. So we do that. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, on Sunday, guys, I'm on with the Wicked Warriors with Tiffany. So I'll be on that show. I think it's 2:00 Eastern. So they're interviewing me on that on on Sunday. Sorry. So I will be on the Wicked Warriors show Sunday coming up. The 8th.
Did you hear? Did you get the other message about the void abonitos that I sent you? I've
did.
been seeing that a lot more.
Yeah, because you're on my frequency right now. You and I are on the same frequency, so you'll see all that stuff. Like wavelength.
The ones that I sent you.
I understand. What I'm saying is the reason that you're seeing more of it is because me and you are on the same brain frequency. So what you didn't see before, seeing now a lot of. We're on the same. You know what I mean? Like I've been saying that always, and people are like, I don't even know what that is. But now me and you are talking about it, and because we're talking about it, you're on the same frequency as me. You'll see it everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm learning a lot about that brain frequency stuff.
So Darren, I kind of had a thing that I wanted to see if we could do between the two of us, where I'm able to get out a printer and you're able to get out a printer. We should make some flyers up and just start sticking them around with basic knowledge.
Yeah, I'm down that. Absolutely, like an info thing.
Yeah,
that's a freaking great idea.
Yeah.
Call it basic knowledge, CPS. Basic knowledge about CPS, and then just post little quotes everywhere, little statutes, little everything. Do them all around the freaking courthouses, like around the area of the courthouses, around the area of the visitations. There's tons of them that I know about that are around here that I piece of chalk.
Well, you can even put them in
on the ground.
supermarkets on their billboards and stuff.
Yeah, we'll put them everywhere, man. It's a good
I
idea.
told someone today there was a someone posted a picture of a little like street sign that someone sticks in their grass that says foster parents needed, and it had like a QR code to scan. And I was like, are you kidding me? Go rip that sign down. No, better
Darren,
yet, I'm going to make signs that match them and put them, I'm going to mail them to these girls, and because they don't have the money to print them out or anything, I'll mail them the signs personally. All they have to do is go stick them in the ground right next to them.
Right,
Fuck
right.
that. Don't take them down. Stick something in the ground right next to it that counteracts what they're saying.
You want me to bring Gail on, Darren?
Yeah, Gail in. Here's Gail. Hey, Gail, how you feeling?
Trying to click on her.
How is everybody?
There you go.
There's Gail.
Good.
How
How are you, Gail?
Good. Thank you.
Hey, Gail, did you hear any of what were you able to hear about anything that we were just talking about?
No, I just got on.
Hey, Gail. You know,
how you doing, Gail?
Hi, Herbie.
Hey, I'm going to play this video real quick for you to, I want you to see what you think about this.
Okay.
Hi.
All right. Hello, Herbert. Right.
Hello.
There's
Hello.
Herbert.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm here.
Herbert's in the house. All right.
Hi, my name's Casey Powell, and until recently, I was a licensed attorney in multiple states as well as the Supreme Court of the United States, but more on that later. I just wanted to get on here and respond to many requests that I've had in my inbox and by different organizations in response to comments that I've left on their page. One of them being is I keep seeing a trend across TikTok where there are people having battles with family court, and there are people in the comments saying we'll have a better chance when we get to the federal courts. No, you won't. You're never going to get to the federal court in a family law case. That includes a probate matter, that includes family court, DCFS. You're not going to get there. The best you can hope for is a federal 1983, but I promise you, they're going to throw out even the best of the 1983. And I'll give you prime examples. And if you're interested, and you can go to my page, I'm under Justice Seeker, Justice with a Y. And I'll be posting more videos and posting more content to show you that no, the justice system isn't going to protect you and the federal courts isn't. Although I find it a little ironic, a great deal of things that go on in family courts across the nation, in every single state. They are matched dollar for dollar in most things, and in what they're not even matched dollar for dollar in, federal funding exceeds it, yet you don't have the protection of the federal courts. You don't have the protection of the Bill of Rights. You don't have your liberty interests being protected because there is actually a federal family court exclusion on family court cases as well as probate cases. So, in a sense, the family court cases I can understand, okay, because you don't want the federal court involved in custody matters. They never get any work done. But when it comes to the government taking away your rights, when it comes to the government, any judge saying, hey, you're not fit to be around this child, if they're playing with your liberty interest and they're telling lies, personal opinion is, oh yeah, you have every right to go to federal court. But you're not getting there because of the family court exclusion.
All right. So that's some real disheartening stuff. And we looked that up, and what I got out of it was the Family Court Exclusion Act says right here. It says the that's it, right? The domestic relations exception to federal jurisdiction prevents federal courts from hearing family law cases that are traditionally handled by the state courts. The case can only be removed to federal court if the federal court has subject matter jurisdiction over the matter. Then it says a case can usually be removed to federal court if the plaintiff could have filed it there. It says, in contrast, most family law matters are addressed in state court since federal court jurisdiction granted by the U.S. Constitution does not include this area of the law. So we hear all of these people giving hope for this federal going to federal court and everything. And then I don't know. I don't know a lot about what this means, but what's your insight on that, Gail? What you just heard?
I would like to research it more myself and find out more about that because I was trying to gather what she's saying she was saying you should take it to federal court, but then it sounded like she was saying you can't.
Right.
Right.
And this exclusion act will stop it.
Right. Right. So I'd like to talk to. I have a couple of friends that are lawyers, so I'm going to ask them about this and see if they can give me some clarification.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Because this is some seriously disheartening. This right here is like everybody's game book from if they lose in this district courts and the superior and all that, then they go to the next courts up or the Supreme Court to federal court. This is like everybody's playlist to get there. And to hear this is kind of like, whoa, not good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've heard of people not winning in federal court, but I've never heard of people just not making it,
Yeah.
So what's going on with you, Gail? Have you learned anything new or talked anything, heard anything, got any new information at all? Or you just been
yeah, I haven't had any new information. I'm getting back on track this upcoming week. because I had to deal with a couple of health issues. But I'll be back on track with finding out and also pursuing a CPS worker to get on so that we can have a discussion with them as well.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you. Are you doing
Sure.
okay? You all right?
Yeah. I'll be fine. I'm still getting there, but I'll be okay. So,
Right.
yeah.
We've added on a couple of friends from the UK with us too. I think this just Mr. Durham's here tonight. Durham, how you doing, buddy? What do you think about that? What you just heard?
To be honest with you, Darren, I was off. I wasn't in a room, so I do apologise for that. I'm quite burnt out at the minute. I've had like 2 hours sleep in the last few days. I'm actually burnt out. I need to like sit back for a bit and try and like recharge. So much shit going on. You can only do it for so long, and I mean I've been at it for months. Can you just give a little recap? I don't know.
Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you just need to sit back. Seat and just chill. I mean, in the passenger seat.
But
you know what? I do have a curious question when you guys give me when
Go ahead right now.
So we heard about this shooting in Georgia, and I see it's on your ticket taker.
Yeah.
They arrested the father as well for purchasing. And I wanted to get everybody's take on that, how they felt about that. Because the kid is only 14. He's being charged as an adult.
Right.
But they also are arresting the father because he gave this child this particular gun as I think it was a Christmas gift or some sort of birthday gift, something like that.
So because the father gave him the gun, this is what they're going to charge him on for like attempted murder or conspiracy?
I'm not sure what the charges are for the father. It may be more like reckless, sort of. Herbie may have more insight as a police officer with that. But because there's no way a kid 14 years old should have that kind of gun. And that's the purpose of the charge. Yeah.
Herb's trying to say something. His mic's off.
Herb, your mic's off, bud. Hold on a minute. Hey, Vanny, can you check him and see if he's muted or something?
Very quickly, Darren, we're going to be sending out mass emails to like members of parliament, chiefs of police, and tell them.
Okay, now, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My mic, you guys muted my mic. I didn't mute it. I was just going to respond to what Gail was saying. The child is 14 years old. The father is still responsible for all actions of that child. So whatever that child gets charged with, the father's going to get charged with.
Oh, so he'll get charged the same crime, most likely. Then.
Sure. Yes. If that child was 18, 19, or 20 years old, the father would not be charged with that. The other part of that charge, what a lot of people may find bizarre, but the father was aware of the kid's mindset of wanting to do harm to a school he was in before. So he had knowledge of that. And then he turned around and purchased an AR-15 for his son anyway. So they're really going after the father.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what do we think of that? Huh? What do we think of that? Ashley, your thoughts?
Well, how about if I ask you this question? Do you think they should charge the father or not charge the father for the actor?
Yeah, that's kind of what Gail was just asking us.
I think he should be charged because that's irresponsible putting a gun like that in a 14-year-old's hand.
Right.
And especially if he's got a really bad mindset, if he's got mental health problems, and he's knowing he's got mental health problems, and he's put a weapon in his hands like that. He must have known something could happen. So yeah, he should be charged, most definitely. I wouldn't put a gun in my children's hands. No way.
Durham, you'd say charged. Right,
By the way,
definitely.
I just want to introduce Gail to Durham. She's never heard him before, from the United Kingdom.
It's nice
Durham?
to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Durham.
Hey, Durham?
Yeah.
And Durham stays up to 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in the morning his time right now. So he stays up to be on the show. 3 o'clock in the morning his time.
That's commitment.
But anyway, back to the shooting thing. Yeah, it is.
Vinny,
But back to the shooting thing. Yeah, the father's going to be charged.
Vinny, what's your thoughts, man?
Vinny, what's your thoughts?
You know, I've seen a lot of different things. Like, even in this, like, I'm reading the Guardian ad litem's report because I finally printed it out. And
No, the thoughts on the shooting. The guy that did the shooting, should he be charged?
Yeah,
The father?
I mean, if you're gonna shoot someone,
The father gave him the gun. We were talking about should the father be responsible?
oh no,
All right, go with that.
no,
Actually-
because he wasn't the one that provided him the gun.
No, he did give him the gun for a
He
present.
did. He gave it to him as a gift. It
Yeah,
was a
but he
Christmas
didn't know what he was gonna do with it. So how how
But
do you
know
judge
what?
that?
Do you know what kind of gun this is? You
No.
what is the AK? What was it? Do you remember?
It's an AR-15.
yeah. Why would you
AR-15, yeah.
Why would you give an AR-15 to a 14-year-old kid whose hormones are on overdrive to begin with?
And mind you, they just went hunting probably 2 or 3 weeks prior to that, and his son shot his deer and put blood on his face and took a picture. So I don't know. I don't agree with anything like that. I think his father should have been charged 100%. Maybe not for murder, maybe attempted second-degree manslaughter or something, aggravated something, but not completely with kids being charged. A kid should be charged with this, I think. Personally,
There we go. Furnishing a dangerous weapon to a minor.
So you agree that she should be charged then?
Yeah, for furnishing a dangerous weapon to a minor.
All right, so Ashley says charged. Gail, you say charged, right?
I agree. I think he should be charged. There's no way you should be buying a kid a gun like that. And then, like she was just saying a minute ago, you see signs that this kid is not safe with this, that he's getting off on killing to do what he did. So yeah, you don't give a kid like that a gun like that. No kid should have that, even if he's not a violent kid, but this kid is showing signs.
Well, here's my take on all of this. We live in the United States of America, and here we have the right to bear arms. If you're going to be a parent, then you have to be responsible for raising your kid with the fact that you should be able to be lessoned in gun rules and regulations and trainings. You should be paying attention to that. We can't make up a decision for every person that holds a gun in their hand. Anybody can snap at any given moment. But as long as we get these rights to ourselves as Americans, we don't have to worry about them being taken away. No way, no sir, she doesn't deserve to be charged. That kid goes to jail solely on his own. That kid has to suffer. That's the way I sit with that. We let them take away.
So are you saying
the gun doesn't kill?
Are you saying that the father should be or not be charged?
Should not be charged. Nope.
The gun doesn't kill people. You say the father should not be charged.
Correct. That's what I said clearly. Father should not be charged.
Okay. Now stay with me for a second, Darren. The kid is 14 years old. The parent is responsible for the actions of a child.
Yep.
And so in some states, 18? I don't know. They're different. So his father is responsible for the child's actions. So if the child breaks somebody's window with a baseball.
Yeah, you're right. But in 1776,
if the child broke somebody's window.
Close your mouth. Let me talk. In 1776.
I'm saying
in 1776, this country was fighting the British, right? Coming into this country. Men, women, and children fought side by side with deadly weapons. All right? Someday, some people can come into this country. Our kids should have weapons. They should be responsible with them. You cannot dictate what somebody's going to do with a weapon in their hand. Me and you can all be out hunting, be great friends. Dick Cheney shot a guy right next to him, a trained avid hunter. You don't know. It's a risk that you take when you deal in the gun thing, but the only person responsible for pulling that trigger is the person that pulls the trigger. It's not the gun's fault. The gun didn't do anything, and this is just going to be a stage for this to be another, let's take away the guns. An AR-15 is not an automatic weapon. It's a semi-automatic weapon, which you can use. A kid gets a semi-automatic 22. It's a glorified semi-automatic 22, but they try to make this out to be some gruesome bad weapon when it's no different than the 22 caliber that's sitting up on it's now that the kids can have. This is not a malicious weapon whatsoever. It's not a 50 cal. It's not an AK-47 even. It's not anything like that. It's an AR-15. The ones that everybody thinks are so cool. Navy SEALs don't even use AR-15s. They use other things. So this is just what this is about. The person that pulls the trigger is solely responsible. 8, 10, or 12, because how are you going to ask someone at a younger age to use that weapon to defend themselves, but then you're going to dictate why they have that weapon? It doesn't seem right, right?
I understand your point, but what if it was just a 22 caliber rifle and he did the same damage? The father is responsible. In 1700s, when the British was here, we didn't have laws like we have now. And the laws now say you are responsible for your children until they're 18 years old.
You just, Herbert, the Constitution, remember 1776, the right to keep and bear arms? Yes, they had laws and rules. That's when they established.
Yes.
That's when they established that rule and why they did. Then
yes.
Nobody took that right away.
But then you can't. Okay. But I would go along with you saying if that child can go to a gun store and purchase that gun on his own, then guess what? You have no argument with me. That child at 14 cannot walk in a gun store and purchase a gun. If that child was able to, this is how the father gets off. If he was able to prove where he purchased a gun at 14 years old, then guess what? Father ain't responsible. The person who's going to jail now is the person that sold him the gun.
So we got to amend the United States Constitution, the right to bear arms to 18-year-old people and older?
Right now, you have to be, to have a rifle, I believe is 18, a handgun is 21.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying, is now we're changing.
Unless we're supervised. Now that kid, his father bought him a rifle. If his father and them are at the gun range and they're shooting, he's legal. He's fine. He's with his father. He's with an adult. He's being supervised. The child took the gun, took it to school, and caused harm.
Yeah.
Now, if that child was 20 years old, his father is free and clear. His father has nothing to do with it because he's not responsible for his child's actions.
So
he's responsible for everything he does until that child becomes legal age.
So then that means that any rule that's in the Constitution should be age-based now.
Maybe you can research that and find out when was it age-based. Because if you go back many years ago, I'm sure children were driving cars back in the 1920s and 1930s and didn't have a driver's license.
The cars aren't in the Constitution.
No, it's not. But I'm just trying to show you how things changed.
Well, this is my point. This is a bigger argument than is it just the father is responsible. I mean, this argument here is rattling against the fabric that our country's built on. At what point are we going to go? And then it's going to be that we can no longer have to bear arms. But here's even. I don't think
anybody would have bothered that kid if he was out there shooting on a range and his father was nearby. They wouldn't bother him. The kid shot and killed people.
Right. That's my point. So that kid made the decision to either shoot in the range free and clear and do it the right way, or he chose to do it the wrong way. Why is that the father's decision? Because you just said it. No one would have bothered him or the father if he was doing it peacefully in a yard somewhere, doing it properly. No one would have said anything about that. So why is it?
That's correct.
Now it's the parents.
Because somebody developed a law saying that you are responsible for your child until they become a legal age.
Mm-hmm. There is that. Okay.
Legal age, I believe, is 18 years old.
Yeah.
Even with CPS, isn't it? Isn't I correct to say at CPS, the child is free? I mean, once they turn 18 years old.
Okay, so then that means that the Constitution is based on an age-based thing. We'd have to bring that one up.
You have to bring that up. But if it was based on an age thing, I don't know when the age came into play. But I tell you what, father's responsible till that child becomes an adult of his actions.
What age can someone go hunting at?
They can hunt at any age as long as they're with an adult. You could take a 12-year-old girl and she has a shotgun, rifle, whatever, and they're hunting Bambi. That's legal because she's with an adult to supervise. I literally have taught children how to shoot guns on the range as an instructor myself. But who was there? Me, the adult, and their parents was there. And the parents signed a waiver.
If his parents signed up and did all the right things that he was supposed to do, is it still his fault if the kid went and did it?
Yes. No. It's his fault. The kid shot the kids. He shot and killed somebody. So his father gets charged also.
Dylan Klebold and the other guy, when they did Columbine, did they charge the parents for that?
We have to check and look it up. I know that there was a recent shooting of a young kid in one of the schools where they went after the parents also. This is not new. This is not new stuff.
Here's my point. So this parent is responsible now for the actions of his kids at 14, right? But yet if they have a dirty house, they come and take their kids because they're irresponsible. But yet if this kid goes and does something himself, the parents are in trouble. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I see what you're getting at, but I'm saying that the parents are responsible for their children up until 18 years old.
So they're responsible for the children's flaws, but they're responsible if CPS says that they're not responsible. Get my point here? There's a lot of rubber around this. You can't just fold on these things. You can't make an incident.
You're saying CPS is saying that they're not responsible?
I'm saying
we're in a case of...
I get it, but look at this. The parents are responsible for that, right? So if your parents are good enough to be responsible for a child, if they go and shoot someone, have to be. Why does CPS say you're not good enough to parent when you have dishes on the counter, but you're good enough to parent when your son goes and kills someone? See, everything's all
I'm not sure if I follow that logic. I'm not sure if I follow the logic.
The logic is this, Herbert. So you're
no, you follow that logic really well, Darren. That is a great point, my friend.
Thank you very much, Vinny. And if Vinny knows, Vinny's the great white hope, remember? Just from yesterday.
No, I'm trying to follow the logic between the child killing someone and CPS saying that the parents were not being responsible to take care of the child, and that's why we're coming to take the child. That's why I'm trying to make the relationship.
So what I'm saying is this, Herbert. You're not a good enough parent to raise a kid if you have dirty dishes, but you're good enough to be a parent when your child goes and kills someone.
No, you're not good enough to be. You're not good enough to be a parent if the child goes and kills someone.
But at this point now, this person, obviously this was an issue, right? Do you see what I'm getting at? Why can CPS come and they don't take this kid away? These people are parents. These are responsible enough for this now. CPS can walk in your life and take your responsibilities as a parent right away for nothing. This guy should.
Let's change the scenario. Why don't we change the scenario that the kid went to school with an AR-15 but didn't shoot nobody, and the teachers saw the gun, called the police, and CPS would be involved. And there was a kid at the school with the gun. Okay, he didn't shoot anybody. Nobody died. But that's going to be a CPS issue with that with the parents right there, right on the spot. That the kid showed up with a gun. That's going to be a CPS issue.
Here's my question. I wonder if CPS will be involved in this case then.
I didn't hear you, Darren.
I wonder if CPS will be involved in this. Anyway, the answer to my thing.
Darren, repeat what you said.
said, I wonder if CPS will be involved in this case.
Okay. Okay.
I wonder if they have any other.
I'm gonna make a. Go ahead, Gail.
Yeah, go ahead, Gail.
No, that was Ashley. I said, I'm curious if they
Ashley,
have
go
any
ahead,
other
Ashley.
children.
Yes, that's a
Yeah, I'm
good
curious if
point.
they have.
And if they have other children, here's a good question. Yes, that's a good question. If they have other children, now will CPS go and take the other children as a result of this one child killing people?
Correct.
That's a good question.
CPS get involved. That's what I'm wondering. But
Yep. If there's other children and they're underage, I would think so.
yeah, so obviously we stand at this score here is obviously it's overwhelmingly that the dad gets charged. That's all. No big deal. But that's what we say here. Dad gets charged. So, which he's being charged anyway. But to what degree and whatever, we'll find out, I guess. So, I'm just saying, my whole thing is this: is when is it parents' responsibility, and when is it the state steps in because parental responsibility isn't enough? Do you understand? So now they have access to your children at all times. They can just do whatever they want. You can either be a bad parent and go to jail for it, because that's what this is going to set precedents for now, and not to mention mess with the Constitution.
Yes.
Your right to bear arms. You know. So that's where I come at it.
Yes, but I'm sorry, what Ashley was saying is a good question. If they have other children,
That's what I asked for.
Yeah, if they have other children, CPS probably will go after the children. And yeah, and in that case, but see, now it's all criminal. See, it's no more CPS. This is all criminal now.
So is Benny's and so is mine, all criminal.
And it's all criminal now. See, the relationship is something happened in the state of Maine.
Well, ours is criminal.
And something happened in the state of Maine, but it's federal.
And he had a mental thing. So how are we going to say it was anybody's fault when he had a mental disorder? The dad never had any idea.
But that's the key.
It goes back to the parent, though.
You know, that's right. You know your child. If I knew a child of mine had a mental condition, I would not purchase them a gun.
Right.
Right. And that's where the responsibility lies. Because as parents, we're supposed to help our children, especially if their coping mechanisms are not on point. We're supposed to support them and strengthen them, not by buying them a gun, but by helping them make sense of their world. And buying a gun doesn't help a kid that's 14 that already has hormones that are on overdrive. You know, when you're a teenager, it doesn't take much to trigger you to begin with, you know, and now you're going to purchase a gun that, and we're seeing school shooting after school shooting because of those kind of concerns. So that's why, you know, the Constitution, the right to bear arms, I get what you're saying, but the right to give it to a kid who you know could potentially go out there and is showing you signs, no, that's irresponsible in my opinion.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But the second you start messing with these rules, these laws, they're going to just twist it. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. And now you're going to put the parent, up until this point, yeah, parents are responsible. But you would, if your kid threw a baseball through a window, you know, did the police come over and make you pay for the window? No, they don't. But you as a responsible parent would go over and offer to pay for it. You know, like that's just like unheard of things. So now this is setting up a whole precedent too for anything.
Well, let me tell you one thing I do know. The NRA is extraordinarily powerful, and you don't have to worry about gun laws being messed with. That much I can tell you. I don't care how much we discuss this. We could discuss this till the cows come home.
The police will go to
where 6-year-old kids and 5-year-old kids were murdered. Numerous kids were murdered, and nothing changed. This isn't going to change anything either. So gun laws are strong. There's only 2 countries. This and I think it's Scandinavia that can use guns in the way that they do. So, you know, and we see it's questionable, at least.
Right. No, I get it. And with the mental disorder thing, right? There's the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do, and obviously giving a gun to a mentally challenged kid, you don't really want to do that. But to
Well, you
hold up,
know, I don't know if anybody noticed what I was talking about on the chat. There is this guy in Louisiana. Okay, he was a felon. He wasn't supposed to have guns. He was going through McDonald's drive-through with the two kids in the back. I think there was even a kid up front. The kid was holding on to the gun. I think he was about 14. Accidentally shot his brother, and his brother ends up dead. Um, that was a weird situation. I mean, everybody just felt so horrible. But then we were trying to say, well, who's responsible there? And in my opinion, his dad should have done more than a month in jail. I don't know about that. Because he wasn't supposed to have the guns.
so basically, it's everybody saying the parents are responsible for their kids if they shoot somebody.
Well, you should have your guns locked up. It's okay if
Yeah.
your parents have a gun, but keep them locked up. Your kids should not have
Or
access.
don't have them loaded in the back seat of the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just that's on a
We used
parent.
to have guns loaded in the back seat of our truck. When you guys were kids too, people going to high school, they have rifles right in the back windows, loaded to
Yeah,
the tilt.
when people start getting shot, you got to wonder.
Well, maybe
you
they
know,
were shot. You just didn't know because you didn't know the news everywhere.
yeah,
You know, there's a lot of
yeah.
things
That was really hit close to home. These kids lived right down the street, man.
they're just so. At this point, everybody's pretty much saying that you're responsible for everything your kid does until you're the age of 18. And if your kid steals at the store, gets the gum and candy, they can come home and arrest the parent. Is that what we're going to go with?
So that also go along the lines of you're saying that the parent is responsible for a child.
I wouldn't get that.
Obviously,
I wouldn't go that
No,
deep.
the kid would have to do some type of detention or something.
Reason, because this is where we get into this thing that we call discretion. Now we're plotting to have discretion against a parent. Do you see why I'm saying what I'm saying, where I'm going with this? Because we're fighting this in the courts now. What's imminent danger? Well, imminent danger at one time meant that you had a gun in your hand and you were going to shoot the guy next to you. Now, imminent danger is 6 months down the road, you might do something. You see? So if we keep scrolling with this and let them keep going, now a 14-year-old maybe is responsible, maybe they're not. Either it's got to be a staunch rule in the law or it doesn't exist. But now if it's going to kill someone, what about if they steal something? And then the people are going to use this case law and be like, well, that guy, went into school and murdered all those people. So obviously, since his dad's there, now if the kid goes in and steals some bubble gum, they're going to go in, they're going to arrest the parents for stealing bubble gum. Now, how far is this going to go?
I got to
Well, it's always different when someone ends up dead.
Yes, but here in this case, okay, a Supreme Court ruled, okay, that felons are allowed to carry as long as they are not considered dangerous.
Correct.
What is that in Maine, or is you're saying for everywhere?
This is state. This is federal Supreme Court.
No, that's state-wise. No, that's state-wise. That's a state thing. That has to do with states. That's not federal. No, but if but states, not only so many states adhere to that. You can't do that in New York, California.
That's what they want, Carrie. They want us vulnerable. That way, they can.
If you can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Let's see it clear.
Yes, we can hear you, Herbert.
There are some states that will allow a person with a non-violent felon to apply for a firearm permit. Yes. Other states, you have felon, they don't even want to talk to you about a permit. So it's not federal across the board, is what I'm saying, Vinny.
It's supposed to be. because it was ruled by the Supreme
No,
Court.
no. I understand what you're saying. It's supposed to
See
be.
this
It's
picture of
not
my
federal.
little boy? This is a picture of Chris. Isn't that something funny? This is my kids used to dress up all the time. Like this dude is ready for.
Are you saying you shouldn't give him a gun? You want to give your kid a gun?
These kids, they had a BB gun or whatever you call those little pellet guns.
So this is what it says. The Supreme Court's 2008 decision in District of Columbia versus Heckler interpreted the Second Amendment as granting individuals the right to possess arms for lawful purposes, such as self-defense. However, the court also noted that the decision did not cast doubt on the long-standing prohibition on felonies owning guns. Then, in July 2nd, 2024, the Supreme Court declined to hear a series of challenges to federal laws that prohibit convicted felons and drug users from owning guns. Instead, the court sent the cases back to the lower courts to reevaluate the ban in light of the Rahimi ruling. So it got kicked back to the states.
It refers back to the states.
And what's interesting is in Georgia now.
This is why I'm saying if things were all federal. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Georgia?
No, it's just that I mean I was living.
What are you saying about Georgia?
I was living in Georgia when the laws changed there. You used to have a license. You used to have to be registered, but you don't now. Kemp changed that, and they were trying to the news media was trying to make Kemp accountable for that when this happened, and Kemp's response was, this is not the time to discuss politics. We need to just send the prayers and to the families. But a lot of the parents that were affected by this were saying this isn't about prayers. This is about, we need responsible laws that stop children from getting access to this, because it's happening so much now that we're even becoming numb to it many times. We hear this and we don't go anymore. It's like, oh my gosh, another shooting. That shouldn't be the case. This should not be normalized. And
yeah, like I heard on the news just today. I can't remember. The guy's kind of famous. He's like, this has been a common occurrence. This is no surprise, is what he was saying.
Yeah, and that there's no way this should be normalized. There's just no way. So we have to act responsibly with anything. Nevertheless, something that could take another human being's life. So
there's nothing good about people dying. Period. Not at all. And it sucks that people have to go do things like this because nobody asked for that day. Overall, just whoever's fault it was, it just sucks for everybody that's involved.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I agree that people should have the right to bear arms. I agree with that. What I don't agree with is that those laws need to be responsible in terms of children should not have access. And if you're going to act irresponsibly and let a child get access, 3-year-old kids have shot their siblings to death, not even knowing what they've done.
Right.
So who's responsible? You're not going to throw a 3-year-old kid in jail for that. It should be a parent's responsibility that gun shouldn't have been available. And then also, if somebody has severe mental illness, there's no way they should be able to run around with any type of gun that could harm someone else. Not all mental illness. Some mental illness is a lot of people have it, and it's workable.
That gets back to the current shooting. Is they're saying the information was like a year before this that the FBI knew. They kind of looked into it, and it gets back to who's responsible. I did a TikTok on it because I swear, who is responsible is the FBI and Department of Justice once again have failed us. That's all I can say.
Now, I agree with you on that, because even the responsibility of those who had already seen, because he made threats online, and that's why the FBI gets involved.
Yeah, it
And
was
you're
on
right.
Discord. I mean,
That's right. And they should be accountable as well. Absolutely, 100%. You're 100% right.
but
Yeah.
instead they're looking at other people that seem to have better ideas than them and actually maybe have criticized their work, and then they throw them in jail for whatever reason they might decide, whatever setup that they can come up with. Yeah, arrest somebody over a cartoon, political cartoon, and then keep them in lock for a whole month for God knows what reason.
Mhm.
You know, and cut off all communication with family. I mean, it's just disgusting. What they are wearing the uniforms of officers. I'm telling you, a lot of them. I'm not saying everybody. I know there's plenty of good people out there, but they are wearing the uniforms, but they're not doing the job that they are sworn to do.
So since Columbine, there's been 417 school shootings
Mhm.
since 1999.
Yeah.
So that's 417 too many, obviously.
Yeah.
383,000 students have experienced gun violence in school since Columbine. That's a big number.
That's huge.
Yep. I agree with that.
And for any of you who have younger children, and I have a younger grandson, there's no way I have to worry when he's going to school that something like this may happen.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But here we go. Now the schools are bringing our kids to violence because of this stuff. But you're not going to see CPS go after the school, right? When are these people?
Well, they have arrested teachers. I don't know if it's a CPS thing. I don't know. CPS is I think focused on family, but I do know police officers have walked
tearing them apart
and arrested them.
So, it takes a village to raise a kid. And this is just, I guess, when everybody's got their hands in the pie.
Well, let me add another equation to this. So one of the discussions right now, because of these school shootings, is giving teachers guns. Talk about the right to bear arms. What do you guys think about that?
Proper training and everything. It's a great idea.
I agree with Darren on that.
Yeah, I think it is a good idea.
Well, my response, can you hear me?
Yes, we can always hear you.
Hello?
If he wore that key around their neck and make sure nobody can have access to it.
Right.
Can you guys hear me?
The key to the drawer.
Yep. Go ahead, Herbert.
Yes, Herb, I can.
Herbert, you hear us.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
No, I don't know if you can hear me. I was going to say something. Oh, okay. You can't hear me then.
Okay, Herbert.
Oh, you can. Okay. What I was going to say is, I thought the idea of having law enforcement in the school was good, but the problem is that.
No.
Huh?
Now we can't hear you. No. You're breaking up. We can't hear you.
Oh,
you guys
can hear you. Okay. What I'm saying is having a police officer in the school, I thought it was a good idea, but there's a problem with that. A police officer cannot be in every classroom. So having trained, just like I give you a relationship to this. Do you remember when we were having problems with hijacking and they allowed pilots to have firearms in the cockpit? That was a voluntary thing. It wasn't mandatory that every pilot will have a firearm, but every pilot would, no matter what airlines, have the right to carry a firearm with the training. As of this day, American Airlines, Southwest Airlines, if they want to carry a gun, federal law allows them to carry a gun. But having teachers in a classroom carry a gun, that's a big responsibility the teacher has.
Mm-hmm.
And on one part, I think it's great because the teacher can at least not go on the offense, but on the defense for the children in the classroom if there's a shooting. But at the same token, we got to do a background check and a mental check on the teacher. Because if a child goes off and threatens the teacher will pull out the gun and shoot the child.
Or the teacher's having a bad day and he shoots up the kids.
Right? Or the teacher have a bad day and shoots the boss, the principal. So it's kind of like I'm like half. I'm in between with that because on one part I think it's a great idea because I personally carry a gun everywhere I go. I always have a firearm on me.
Yeah.
Okay, because I can, just because I can. And it's for my protection and for the protection of any incidents that's going on around me. That's why I always carry a firearm. Always. So I'm kind of like for the teachers having it, but then I'm concerned with some teachers may say I don't want to have it. It's not going to be mandatory. Just like with the pilots, it's not mandatory that all pilots carry a firearm, but they have the right to carry a firearm. So in the school, there are going to be teachers that's going to be saying, no, I'm not carrying no firearm. I may have the right to carry it, but I'm not going to carry it. Then there's people in school for religious reasons. They can't carry a firearm because of religious reasons.
Yep. No, it's just going to be that argument forever. I don't think it really matters how much you. But we are cranked past our time.
Okay.
Gail, thank you for bringing that topic up. That was great. I was earlier.
Thank you. Thank
Durham,
you
you still here?
all for talking and making it such a great conference.
Durham, did you leave? Has Durham left the building? Oh well. I'll ask him because he was saying something at one point.
He's still here. He still shows him that he's here.
Oh, yeah, maybe he's doing away. Oh, is that you, Durham? No, he wants to stay out. Ashley.
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Last thoughts?
Oh, of course, same things always. Don't give up. Don't stop fighting, and pursue anything you can with federal court. It's always worth it.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know about you guys, but it's almost sunset here, and we can all just take a moment to view the beautiful sunset we got going on. If my camera actually works, there we go.
You want to do a silence moment?
If it works, apparently it's not working. But I'm at the beach, always.
You are. Perfect. Linda, last words?
There it is. Oh, keep strong in your body and your mind.
All right. Gail.
Yes.
Last words from you, man.
In spite of all that goes on, that we see as negative, trust that somehow if we keep getting more information and more knowledge and insights, that we'll move forward and make positive gains.
Yeah, absolutely. Find the faith. Be positive. Absolutely. That's it. Herbert, last words?
Last words is learn all you can about CPS and try to avoid being on their radar. And for those of you who are on the radar, try to figure out how you can circumvent the situation that you may be in so you can get your children back.
Yeah, I like that. Vinny?
My last words.
Earth to Vinny. Earth to Vinny. Come in, Vinny.
I'm here.
He's right on the money.
My last words tonight are this: never give up, keep fighting, and put your faith in the universe because it has a funny way of coming back around.
Yeah, the universe is really it's a cool thing, man. It really is what it does. And for me, last words are going to be. Hold on 1 minute. I'm just looking for something here. I don't know. I was going to show something, but I didn't. My last words are going to be, let's do one more moment of silence for those people in Georgia, and then we'll end this show. Let's do one last moment of silence, please. All right. You guys have a good weekend. Keep CPS out of your houses, please. If they come to your door, remember all the stuff that we tell you to do. Don't forget that I'm with the Wicked Warriors this weekend. That's Sunday at 2:00.
And we got the Vinny show at 9:00 tomorrow night.
9:00 tomorrow night with Vinny. So we got that. So we got a weekend full of stuff for you guys to watch. So we won't be gone that long. So that being said, I'm CPS Punisher. I'm out of here.
Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem.
They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with dad out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem, stealing our kids. It's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again. CPS comes along with the mission to protect. The only thing they are doing is cashing in those checks, paid for by the souls of the children, diagnosed by a caseworker who is still a baby herself. They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with dad out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem, stealing our kids. It's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to